Hey everybody, and welcome to Authors and Dragons, where a group of comedic fantasy writers get together and try to make it through a whole game of Pathfinder without accidentally dying. Let's see if we pull it off this week. As always, the odds do not look great.
Hi, I'm John Hartness, and I'll play the role of Fandingo the Fantastical. In what passes for real life around here, I write a bunch of different things, including the Bubba the Monster Hunter series of comedy horror novellas and short stories, the most recent of which, Cold as Ice, released today and features a hilarious dance-off which can be seen on YouTube by Googling my name.
My name is Rick Gualtieri, and I'll be playing the role of Silas Kane / the mysterious Arrow of the Gods. In real life, I also write multiple things, including the Tome of Bill comedy horror series, Lichen Moon, and by the time this podcast comes out, Midnight's Daughter, a manga-based fantasy, will be on the shelves.
Hello, my name is Robert Bevan. I play the role of Klaus Richter, the notorious rogue. In real life, I write the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy, fantasy, lit RPG novels, and short stories, starting with the first book, Critical Failures.
Hi there, my name's Steve Webberell, and I play Brandon Fimester, the monk. In real life, I write, as of the release of this podcast, the Totally Legend of Brendan Fimester, which you can find on all good bookstores, which are Amazon. So go check that out.
I am Drew Hayes, the habitual wandering drunk that somehow stumbled into a computer and wound up GMing this game. In real life, I write books such as Superpowers, Fred the Vampire Accountant, NPCs, Forging Hephaestus. Oh, there's too many of them. And this week, Authors and Dragons is sponsored by, Skyfarer, the solo debut novel from our own Joseph Brassey, who is a little too busy with all of that to be with us tonight, but we still wish him the best of luck, and we hope you will check out his book.
Yeah, he's a real author. He doesn't want anything to do with us now.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, he's like, yeah, guys, the book came out this morning, so fuck off. just
how awesome! Kind of how awesome would it have been if that it actually happened?
Hey guys, thanks for the promo. Later.
Yeah.
I mean, frankly, we can't be 100% sure it hasn't happened because we haven't had him on the podcast since the book release. So, for all we know, he's off somewhere saying "fuck y'all," and he just hasn't told us yet.
I like to think that Joe's the kind of man who says "fuck you" to your face with a sword in his hands.
So we're not worthy of him actually saying "fuck you" to us.
Sometimes it's probably it's like 10,000 miles of airtime to get to all of us.
And that would be a commitment, you know. I would have great respect as I flew all the way out here just to tell you "fuck you" and stick a sword in your face.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to hate that guy. That's a man who committed.
Yeah.
Well, cutting a bitch is like the last thing you can't do on the internet, so needs that personal touch.
Not until the Drew Hayes Cut a Bitch 9000 robot is premiered.
Yeah. No, eventually we'll be able to kill each other via internet, and then that's when humanity dies.
Yeah, that's pretty much the end.
When Facebook adds that "kill this fucker" button.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
For $10,000, you can murder someone over Facebook. Well, everybody's dead. Where did they get the money?
Yeah.
Inheritance from all the people who got killed that they were related to. They just cycled it in.
Well, you know how Facebook works. They'll give everybody one free one, just to get them into the system.
I'll just charge that shit on credit cards, and somebody will kill me before the bill comes due.
That's fair. That's very fair. You run a publishing company.
All right.
I'll teach you not to take my goddamn gothic vampire novella about his emotions.
Be the last great action of the free market, where it just get a wholesale murdering of everybody.
It turns out if you make murdering anonymous and don't make humans get their hands dirty, we will just wipe ourselves out.
Yeah, fucking 100%.
And on that depressing note.
When last we left our heroes, we were really fucked up.
Yeah, you guys were stoned out of your mind. You went on a sort of a spirit journey, slash illusion, slash trip, slash you have no idea how much of what happened was real, and how much you just kind of thought about it.
Sounds like Tuesday.
But when the smoke finally fades, you will find that you are back at the inn, in kind of hurled slapdashedly into one room. The sun is rising, and Bjorg's nowhere to be seen.
Am I still wearing a frog costume?
You are not still wearing a frog costume, except
All
in
right,
your
then
heart.
that's all that matters.
Where you're always
Except what?
going to be wearing a frog costume. In your heart.
Am I hungover?
No. You... I honestly have no idea if acid gives you a hangover.
Well, it depends on whether you wake up with orange juice or not. That can reactivate the. I've heard. So, moving right along.
We're gonna say elves aren't down for hangovers, so it's hangover-free moss.
Probably just fucks you up long term psychologically, so we'll be fine.
Yeah. You can't break a broken plate.
We can try. But
If anybody could, it would be you guys.
That's some Brian Fuller level of fucked up there. Are we back on an episode of American Gods? Yeah, so Fandango will go down to the bar.
And I still have one more dose of that Vision Quest, fungus.
just in case.
Just in case. I'd love to be shocked that Fandango's initial response is alcohol, but I can't. I have a brain and the capacity to see patterns. You go down to the bar.
Definitely
All right.
a pattern there.
Bar open?
We're not
Bar's
just
always open.
spending the rest of this podcast in the bar. Somebody promised me pretty flowers and dazzling necklaces. So we're doing something today.
Hey, weren't we in this town for a reason? Other than drugs?
Well, there was this big bad on the island that was saying he was going to come get me in the night sometime, but it's been a couple of nights and he hasn't showed up.
Yeah, it's almost like you've
Starting
been
to
fucking
lose
yourself
faith.
up worse than he could.
So we're back to the legend of Cooter Brown. As long as we stay this fucked up, we're safe.
I think we've discovered the way to contain evil for all eternity.
And maybe protect myself from Judge Hungry's gas.
If you're too fucked up to notice, then bad things can't happen.
Right.
Or if we're too fucked up, we can't happen to other people.
I'll be
Same
honest,
thing.
I would not be surprised if the rest of this podcast, every episode, was just you guys in this bar. It would be true to character. I couldn't fault you on that.
Well, I mean,
Just-
it worked for Cheers.
Yeah, so we just become Cheers, but with weird fantasy characters.
Well,
Holy
They
shit, I'm
have
gonna write
more
it down.
viewers than we have listeners.
Also, you guys smoked a lot of pot, so I guess that does fit the Woody Allen motif.
I think Woody Harrelson, but yeah.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson. Probably Woody Allen, too. I don't know.
I mean,
He's got some different motifs, and we're
Yeah,
not
I
getting
know.
into them.
Yeah.
yeah, his issue.
Yeah, if 13-year-old girls are showing up in the game, might have to pull back a bit.
Ooh, yeah. A full Woody Harrelson, no Woody Allen.
Allegedly.
I forgot about that part.
Well, and Rick's bald, so we're back to Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah,
He was
all
also
right.
the first one to do drugs as soon as he got them, so that fits.
Yeah, all right. Wow, Rick Welty is Woody Harrelson. Discuss.
I guess I'm going to be like Rhea Perlman.
I was going to say Danny DeVito, but I don't think Danny DeVito was in that. That was just Chet.
No,
that was
he was
Taxi.
in Taxi.
Yeah, he
That
was
was
in
Taxi. Yeah. I'm Norm.
Look, I watched all that Naked
yeah.
Night as a kid. It all runs together, all right?
I'm pretty sure Brandon is Frasier. Or Brendan.
He's the one everybody likes and will eventually get a spin-off.
Frick. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's pretty fair.
Well, Drew, you're the really really tall one. You're totally Ted Danson.
Oh, I was gonna say Norm. I'm just sitting at a
Nah.
bar drinking, making up stories.
I'm the
We can't all
fat
be
guy. I'm
normal.
Norm.
Fair enough. I can't fight. No, I can't fight you for Norm. Everybody knows Norm, and everybody knows John.
That fucking happened to me at Dragon Con too.
That's a good point.
Next con we're at, I actually think I'm gonna try and organize a room to just start saying John every time you walk in.
Well, see,
Okay.
something that sucks for Joseph, because I think the only one we left for him is Cliff.
Congratulations, Joseph. You're the mailman.
Ah.
Well, that's
Well,
what you get for not being here.
Yeah.
Last pick on our fantasy cheers setup.
I mean, he could be coach, but we'd have to kill him in another 6 months. Because,
Yeah.
like, Coach croaked, so.
I
Take
don't
your
even
pick.
remember
You
who
can
Coach
douchey
is.
mailman, or you can die.
It's a tough gig.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he could be Lilith, but that might just be a little bit weird.
Well, especially for him.
Yeah, Cheers could have done with like an extremely violent character.
Just like a big tall Viking with no explanation. Norm! Norm!
Every so often just breaks a glass and shoved it into somebody's face.
I'm not like a really
So-
bad drunk.
So we're back to saying that Joseph's Lilith. Okay. Because all of these things sound like, yeah, it sounds like Lilith. Yeah, she scared me a lot more than anybody else on that show.
Yeah, Lilith always looked like someone who would just straight up cut you
Yeah.
without a second thought if need be.
It's the
Well,
thing,
she
you put a
still
glass
had the
in
same-
someone's face. But if you
And she
get a
still
wine
had the
glass,
same hair on that show as she had when she was on Broadway in Chicago.
Well, this is turning into an interlude episode.
Yeah.
I want to get back on track here.
Look, man, I can't do anything until y'all do something.
All right.
Fandango went to the bar.
did you say Fandango's still a little bit stoned is actually saying all this to the barman?
So I had this idea. What if we're all just characters on an NBC show?
And then Mr. Bartender Lepke showed up, and it was all fucked up, man.
The bartender charges you a gold for a beer. And
Okay.
says, always thought of myself as a Diane.
Yeah, I can see
Bartender's
it,
cool.
man. Yeah. Word.
Well, Fandango's morning drinking. How about the rest of you?
I'll have a light beer and some bacon for Ron Weasley Jeremy.
He charges you 5 silver, pours half of an ale, and then fills the rest with water. And hands it to you.
All right.
That sounds about right.
Just gotta stay responsible. I got evil coming after me.
You just don't want the weasel to see you drunk again. You're afraid to set a bad example.
No,
When's the
We-
weasel not so him drunk?
I've tried to teach him to piss on a wall with me.
Like I said,
I don't-
you're trying to set a good example.
Exactly.
So what are we supposed to be doing in this town?
Silas will not join them down in the bar. You know, in fact, you know, he stays behind in the room. But when you guys look up, you do see the arrow of the gods descending the stairs.
Oh, thank God, it's the arrow of the gods. We can all get fucked up again, and somebody will look out for us. It's great.
There's no time for that, junior adventurers. I've heard tales that there is great evil on this island. Great evil that we need to use the thief as bait for.
Ah, thank
Well,
God we
I don't-
got some direction going on.
Yeah, I don't know any thieves around here.
If you just sit there and look thievish.
Well, I don't know how to do that. I'm a rogue.
You're doing fine.
You're a rouge?
Moulin rogue.
I love that movie.
Okay, let's derail again. Who would you cast in Moulin Rogue?
Moulin Rogue 1. It's like a Star Wars prequel in space.
Cast Moulin Rogue. Oh, God. And now I'm trying to think of who could play a skeevy rogue but also sing and dance. Hugh Jackman. I'd put Hugh Jackman in Moulin Rogue.
Alan Cumming.
Ooh, good.
Alan Cumming looks skeevy as fuck and has a Tony. Same can be said for Hugh Jackman.
I don't know if he can
What the
sing,
fuck?
but the guy from Lucifer feels like... Oh, yeah, he can. He sings in the thing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Ellis, the guy who plays
Oh,
Lucifer in Lucifer.
Yeah, what's this? God, I can't fucking remember. The guy who played Marty McFly's dad.
Crispin
Oh,
Glover.
Oh, yeah, Crispin Glover.
Yes, Crispin Glover. Because he does Greasy really well.
He does do Greasy very well. He could do like... Oh, wait. Oh, God, what's his name? The dude who looks like a little bit like a weasel. He's in the piano.
Steve Buscemi?
Ron Weasley Jeremy.
You're talking about not Eric Banner, but the guy who kind of doesn't look like Adrian
Brody.
Brady. Yes, he does look roguish.
That dude looks
also
roguish as fuck.
Who was the guy who played the comedy thief in The Mummy alongside Brendan Fraser?
Oh, Jake.
The Rock?
No, it's the guy from New Girl. I want to say it's like Jake Jones or something. It's like really straightforward name.
I know what you're talking about. No idea what his name. He's one of those that guy character actors.
Yeah, he's a very good that guy.
Jake Johnson.
Also,
I looked it up.
Sure.
He'd be our comic relief rogue. He's a great comic relief in general. Wow, we have cast no women in this film. We are making a bad Moulin Rogue.
Anna Paquin.
Can she sing and dance?
Who gives a fuck? She played Rogue.
you know, the people singing dance.
And scene. Not topping that. Let's not even try.
All right. So anyway, as I was saying, you just sit there, Klaus, and act like bait.
You guys are getting nothing done this episode.
I think we're getting a lot done.
We're on brand.
Yeah,
We got
we are
a
on
theme going here.
All right, if Klaus is going to just sit there and look like sushi, what do I do? Can I drink?
You already ordered a beer and paid for it.
No, I'm asking the Arrow of the Gods.
Oh.
I'm waiting for instruction.
Well, I think we should go out there and do a little scouting while our non-thief friend sits here and doesn't act like bait.
I don't like the idea that has me going out where the bad things are. I like the idea that has me staying here drinking, where there's a big, thick bar for me to jump behind when the bad things show up.
Fair enough. In the battle for evil, there will always be filthy cowards. Turn to Brandon. What about you, junior adventurer?
Yeah, let's hit up some evil. Also, if we can find some of those flowers that are out there, get some of them. I'm still accessorizing.
Are you going to put flowers on your junk?
I don't know yet what I'm going to do with them, but let's just say most likely yes, probably.
All right, cool, whatever.
For once, I am in total agreement with the Arrow of the Gods. I will continue to sit at the bar and drink. I got such confidence in his plan that I think after this I'm gonna bump it up to regular beer.
Yeah. Hey, bartender, what's the food menu look like around here?
Bartender kind of looks around for a second. You hear as he stomps his foot. He looks down. The catch of the day is rat.
All right. Fandango finishes his beer. Going outside looks great, guys. Thanks.
I'll ask the barman, sorry. Still stuck on that Diane thing. Have you seen our huge blue head friend?
I think he's blue everything.
It's just hair. It's just his hair.
Just hair?
He's just a hairy guy.
Yeah, that's fair. In my defense, I haven't looked that closely, except when I drew a dick on his face.
I've heard that he's safe.
The bartender will go, yeah, the big burly fella. Yeah, he left this morning after he hauled you assholes in last night. Said something about going to find a wreath, a mourning wreath to assemble. I honestly don't know.
Oh yeah. right. He cares about things.
Yeah, he's still having emotions. I guess we can just wait on him to finish having emotions or whatever it is people with emotions do.
Yes, we have no need for such things.
No, flowers. Expensive flowers. That's
All
what
right.
we need. And also defeating evil.
And breakfast that isn't rat.
Yeah. That's
All right.
a tripod of plans we've got going on there.
Oh. All right. Well, Arrow of the Gods is going to step outside, and then at the top of the lung is announced that there's a rogue in the bar with a magic axe in case any evil wants to go and destroy him.
A couple of the fishermen who are walking by, about to start their day of back-breaking labor while you traipse about like an asshole, give you dirty looks.
Keep your noses clean. I'm watching you.
Huh.
Evil is everywhere.
Well, can you point me to someplace that has, like, less evil than most? Because I'm good with that whole filthy coward thing.
Maybe.
Oh, wait. Which way is the wizard's tower, dude? I think I need to talk to him.
The Wizard's Tower is behind Gunther's shop. I'll give you that one because you have literally spent every day going to Gunther's shop.
All right.
All right.
Fen-
Let's be off to see the wizard.
I'm not skipping, but Fendingo is briskly heading towards the wizard's tower. Are we really leaving Klaus? Because the weasel's kind of funny. Can we bring the weasel with us?
No.
I mean, Klaus would come with the weasel.
Everybody's got their parts to play in this plan.
All right.
I would like to talk to the bartender about if perfect strangers were made today.
Was that the one? Oh.
Balky, yeah. I'll just let it go from there, and we converse.
That's fair.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Now I'm trying to think, is it worse if Balky is someone pretending to be excessively foreign, or is actually someone excessively foreign? I'm really trying to figure out, like, which one's less offensive.
You know, I keep waiting for Yakov Smirnov to make a comeback.
I keep waiting for Yakov from the Animaniacs to make a comeback.
You mean Yakko?
That too.
And of course Wacko
I'm
the
good.
dog. The bartender
I
tells you that he's
in that decade.
a really big 21 Jump Street fan, so he starts arguing hard for Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill. No matter how much you afford that TV can't. No matter how much you tell them that TV could not afford their salaries.
No, screw both of those guys. We are bringing Richard Grieco out of retirement.
Yeah, I don't think the barman understands that we're going through a golden age of television at the moment with subscription
I thought I was
services.
alone here with the bartender.
No, I want to get in on this.
Everybody asking
that
that as they're leaving, they all turn right back around. Hold up, motherfuckers!
Yeah, now if we also 21 Jump Street shit, I'm there. Nah, fuck it.
Alright,
Okay,
so y'all are
so
going to Gunther's.
Let's just assume that we spent the last 3 hours arguing about whether 21 Jump Street television program with Channing Tatum was feasible, and then move on to what we were going to do.
Because really, it's Channing Tatum that's the deal breaker. Jonah Hill is not a problem recruiting him onto TV.
I'm still torn between, for Balky, is it Yakov Smirnov or Yahoo Serious?
I'd vote Yakov
Right.
Smirnoff, personally.
What a country!
and you know something? And
Larry!
then Then I want a reality show on depressed Yahoo Serious because he got beaten out by Yakov Smirnov for this TV revival.
And I want him and Yakko from the Animaniacs talking to him through his television.
So this is what happens when we play without Joe. Now we know. Now
Well,
we
we can't
know.
do any
Thanks,
fucking
Joe.
combat because we'll just die.
It's very much like we're still in the episode where we're all fucked out of our faces.
Yeah, go figure. This is actually more unexpected and random than the goddamn rolling table.
And most of us are pretty much stone sober.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's
I mean, as much as we get.
I'm on detox this week from fucking Labor Day weekend. I'm like, no more beer for the weekdays for a bit. Taking a few days off.
There was Everclear schnapps and vanilla wafers consumed in mass quantities Sunday night. I'm definitely on a break for a few days.
That's a interesting combo.
Indeed.
I found 3 new beers today.
Yeah, but that's breakfast. You're British.
Yeah, but it is certainly very early in the morning here, so yeah.
You could have
that'll
done
do.
that while we were like playing, and I wouldn't have noticed. I've seen you drink casually.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys go to Gunther's, and Klaus stays behind and talks shit with the bartender.
Yeah.
Okay, that is your choice to make. You guys roll up, and you roll into Gunther's. Gunther's like, boys!
Not so loud, G-Money. That's
What?
just pain.
Oh, you got the head squigs, man. No, I get you. I've been there. Hang on, I've got something for that. You don't need to like taste anything today, right?
No, I'm good. That's fine. Yeah.
Cool.
Didn't have anything scheduled.
Yeah. He digs around and he pulls out a small vial and he sets it down. It's extract of. You know what? It's just extract. You're probably happier with that. It's extract of something, and it'll definitely cure your head squigs. You won't be able to taste for like 8 hours though. I use
Arrow
when
the
Dad cooks green beans, man. He fucking sucks.
Arrow the gods will nudge Brandon. It's like, keep an eye out. I think he's trying to sell us illegal substances.
Brandon Firemaster will remain vigilant for illegal substances.
Gunther's gonna look at you and say, "Hey man, there's no laws against it if nobody's invented it yet."
Brandon Firemaster sees a very good point that's been made.
Yes. Damn, foiled by logic. We'll get you next time.
How much, bro?
Oh, for that, man, that's easy and still technically in testing. So, just say 2 silver.
Done.
He gives
Do
you
I
the
drink both?
vial.
Fandingo drinks it.
Vial is a very good word choice. It's not great, but the good news is that you only taste it for a second, and then your tongue just like... It's like it has an aneurysm, but just the tongue. Like your tongue sort of momentarily collapses on itself and refuses to taste anymore. It's so bad. And so yeah, you can just drink it, your hangover goes away, and your tongue is fucking done. It is out for a while.
Mavo. That's on fava.
Oh. Lisp, huh? You're the first one to get that. Hang on. Let me make a note. Bards get lisps.
Motherfucker.
Sounds like the guy from The Usual Suspect.
All right, how do we cast? Gunther's gonna go. All right, so what can I get you all today? You took a long trip yesterday, but new morning.
We're here to see your father and determine if he's evil, and if so, kill him.
Whoa. We are not killing anybody.
Yes.
I thought
Anybody who's not evil.
Yeah, you're definitely not killing my old man. That dude is fucking legit. I mean, he's kind of a dick. I don't think he's evil, but as far as like magic goes, yeah, he's fucking. Every couple of years, somebody shows up trying to step to him, and he just fucking annihilates them from existence, or like torches their entire ship.
Eek.
Yeah,
thought we were.
I am very much
okay,
a
then.
disappointment. He tells me that a lot.
Okay, then. Either way.
He still likes me better than Bunther, though.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Poor old functional Bumper.
Oh, wait, you guys want to meet him?
Well, I thought.
Yeah.
Didn't we? I thought we were going to bring this guy some flowers, so he could give us some necklace money, and then I guess we could kill him after that. If you still think that's what we should do?
Oh yeah, do y'all have the crystal flowers?
Oh.
Not even remotely.
No, we spent 3 hours arguing about casting a television program, which I don't think we even have in this universe.
Yeah. Right.
Well, it's cool. I mean, you can try to meet him.
He gonna kill us?
I don't know, maybe if you try to kill him.
Oh, this is why we need a leader. Where's Bjork?
Alright. I think my mouth works again.
Well, our choices are to go up there and meet him and determine if he's evil and get annihilated, or go find these flowers, go up and meet him, get paid, and then determine if he's evil and get annihilated.
Well, it's more polite to turn up with a gift.
Oh no, you turn in the flowers to me, guys. I'm
Oh,
taking
right.
initiative. Remember? No, fucking
Right.
If you remembered that, it would mean I need to fine-tune my fucking recipe.
Alright, let's go pick some flowers.
I fucking love Gunther.
Gunther is like quickly. He's gonna displace Judge Hungry if you're not careful, dude.
Nah, I don't know about that. But.
Yeah. Well, Gunther would be a lot easier to roleplay at a con. Just wear a robe and have him get high as shit.
It's tailor-made for role-playing at a con.
Yeah, really. I predict that whether they know it or not, we're going to see a lot of Gunthers at con.
We just award somebody best costume and he has no idea what the fuck we're talking about.
Dude, you're the best one today, man. You're the best fucking one. What's that guy talking about?
Just go along with it. It's safer.
That'll be great with the paranoid ones. Hey, you're the best Gunther today. What the fuck does that mean? All right. Speaking of Gunther, he's gonna kind of gesture to the back of the shop, and when he gestures, none of you have noticed this before. Your eyes sort of slid over it naturally, but with Gunther pointing, you can see a set of double doors. They are wooden. They are very engraved. There's runes and shit going through them, and there's a big set of knobs that you turn and they swing outward. And so he's pointing. He's like, "Yeah, that's the door to go try and meet Dad. He's got a waiting area and shit. So if you got wizard business, yeah, take a swing at it. If not, I don't know. Wanna get high?
Well, what if we had business that, say a certain hypothetical rogue who's not here, with a hypothetical magic axe, was saying really nasty things about the wizard who is capable of annihilating just about anybody who pissed him off?
Dude, he's a wizard capable of annihilating anybody who pisses him off. Everybody hates my dad. Fuck, I hate my dad. He's a dick.
Let me guess, is Bumper the only guy who likes your dad?
I think it's more that he wants Dad's approval.
Yeah.
Bunter's got some issues, man.
That's pretty pathetic.
Shit.
Yeah.
Really fucked up. He did not take
Got that
Mom
vibe
leaving
from him.
well.
Wait, wait. I don't care. I mean, let's face it. I don't give a shit. Let's go look for some crystal flowers. Where's the fucking flowers?
Why don't we kind of, speed up what we're doing here? Let's try and be economic. Why don't we put Klaus in the field of flowers? Then we can fight the evil and get the flowers. And maybe Klaus will die anyway, and you won't have to take him to the wizard. And if he doesn't, then we'll come back here with the flowers anyway. I can buy my necklace. You can see the wizard. Wish for justice or whatever it is that's missing in your life. And everyone's happy.
That's some good thinking, Junior Adventurer. You'll make Lesser Adventurer one day yet.
Okay, since all three of you have clearly forgotten this, I'm going to give your characters one chance to roll and remember some basic facts. But because you've spent the last few days just high off your ass, it's going to be a DC 15 intelligence check.
Seems fair.
No, it doesn't.
Silas gets a 6, or Arrow of the Gods gets a 16.
It's nice that this group of players is too dumb to cheat with player knowledge versus character knowledge.
I never worry about you guys metagaming. I really do.
Yeah, Fandango rolls a 21 intelligence check.
Well, Fandango's used to handling his weed.
Fandango's way smarter high than he is not.
Well, thank fuck. Brandon Finemaster rolled an 8, so...
Just the smell
yeah.
of their shop is bringing back memories. So I was like, wait, I was sitting there.
Yeah, it's like I'm weed Batman.
All right, Silas and Fandango can remember that the crystal flowers you're supposed to go after grow in a cave deep within the mountain. Gunther said you might run into evil or monsters on the way to get them, but they're not specifically tied to the evil of Klaus's axe or anything. This is a
Junior Adventurer. We need to go to a cave in the mountains because there might be evil there when we find the flowers.
Yeah, man, this is not a main thing you would do. It's more like a quest you would do on the side. If I had to put a word to it, I would call it a detour thing.
So it's perfectly on brand. All right, let's go.
We gotta hang around waiting for Bjorg anyway. We might see him out there.
Yeah. Let's go. Oh,
shall we collect Klaus?
Yeah. I mean,
I generally wasn't
I'll
sure you
go
guys
in.
would.
You guys stay out here, because I'm afraid if we all go in, Silas might hear us and come down, and that would be awful.
I wouldn't worry about your paladin friend. I hear he's safe.
Oh, we're not worried about him. I'm trying to fucking avoid him.
Oh, Arrow of the Gods. You just don't understand how much we don't like Silas Kane.
All right. So Fandango will go in and try to collect Klaus.
All right, Klaus has removed 3 more gold pieces, and he says he's talking with the bartenders. That Yahoo serious motherfucker, he's got a Wikipedia page, and I don't. What's that shit all about?
Klaus, I know how you can get a Wikipedia page.
Right,
There's one in the cave with the crystal flowers. If you come with us, you can get it.
All right, and I would like to note that I have not used the restroom this whole time.
On top of his game.
Yeah, well, Drew, doesn't pay attention to any arrows in our quiver, but is keeping a close eye on my bladder.
Well, to be honest, you use the bladder a lot more than you use the arrows. Yeah. And usually more effectively.
Yeah.
At some point, we're going to have to roll for a magical item there, like Bladder of Holding.
Klaus finds a ring that will always refill his bladder with a command word.
It's like a chalice of ever-flowing water, except it's a bladder of ever-pissing.
decanter of endless piss.
That's the Anheuser-Busch Brewery. Hey, Klaus, come on. We're going to find your Wikipedia page in the cave with the flowers.
Sweet. All right, I'm all over that.
All right, we're going to the
That was
mountains. Looking for a cave.
Did we lose
Okay.
Drew?
No,
There's
I
all
hear
right.
you. You're going to a cave.
We caught him off guard because we're actually doing something adventuring-wise.
I just feel like it's been so long, you guys have kind of forgotten how D&D works. All you know is there's a cave where these flowers grow.
Yeah, no, we have no fucking idea where.
Yeah, that's
I
why I
will
was
let
kind of
my-
waiting to hear what you were going to do.
I will let
well-
my axe guide me, like Inigo Montoya.
Okay.
I was going to make a knowledge local check and see if I could.
Klaus.
I'll just keep an eye out for wherever the fuck the mountains are. They're probably pretty easy to see and just head in that direction.
Yeah. Actually, so Klaus, you can roll me a. Let's see. What is the right skill for this?
Bullshit.
No, it's. I will let you pick, Klaus. You can roll a knowledge local or a sense motive.
Do either one of these have to be trained?
Not for you in this occasion.
All right. Well, it looks like I do have a rank in knowledge local.
Okay. Well, if you would like to take that, then go for it.
Well, let me see. What's sense?
Since motive is
wisdom. All right. I guess I'll do a knowledge local. Here we go. All right. Klaus rolls a 10.
Ooh. Okay. So Fandango, it looks like you rolled a knowledge local, but this is a magical island halfway divorced from reality. So even with a natural 20, you have perfect recollection of everything you've seen.
Or heard.
Or heard about the island specifically.
Fuck.
But
How about...
you can't get new knowledge from that.
How about knowledge arcana?
What are you trying to roll for?
To hear about magical crystal flowers.
Father, you have failed me.
Enough to get a precise location? All right. If you can get me a natural 20 on Arcana, I will let you have something.
Yeah, how about a natural 1?
Oh.
Oh, fuck it. I start accosting the locals for magic flowers.
Everybody drink. And
Too late.
yeah, Fandango remembers dick all. He barely remembers he's supposed to be getting flowers. That you're getting sort of a second wave off of being back at Gunther's place. Like the fumes are kicking up some shit that didn't fully process. But Klaus, you're 10. While not enough to get a precise location, you are able to sort of commune with your axe a little bit because your axe does have powers related to this island. You haven't tried to use them yet. You've only sort of just followed the general direction. But as you try to focus on the crystal flowers, you sort of try to picture them in your mind, and you are not good at it. But you definitely feel like a tug on your axe to the north, and that's all you get.
I guess I know exactly where to go.
All right, where are we going?
North.
You have a different definition of exactly than I do, but sure.
I'll give it another try when we get closer. But yeah, I got a good thing going with this axe.
Good enough for me.
Okay. You are gonna all start trekking north. Bumbity bum bum bumbity bum bum bumbity bum bum bum.
We are all singing that.
Yep. Just on the off chance, somebody give me a D100 roll.
Ooh.
First one to do it counts.
19.
God damn it.
That's going arrow of the gods.
As you are trekking through the forest to the northern direction, you kind of like start going across like little cart roads and small paths sort of worn through the island. Not big enough for major traffic, but it's an island, so that's not surprising. And as you come to one of them, a woman wearing commoner clothing sort of like is sprinting out like, oh, you've come at last! The champion is here!
Oh. Yep.
Relax, lady. I am Brandon Firemaster. And this is just what I look like all the time. So, no big deal. I mean, it is, but don't get too excited. I mean, you can, but, let's be cool.
Brandon, she races past you, her eyes barely glancing away to take a long, lingering drink of your sculpted body. And then, racing
Everybody
onward,
watch out for that woman. She's crazy.
She barely undressed me with her eyes at all. She races forward and drops into a kneel in front of Klaus. Champion of the island, thank you. You have finally come. You've heard our distress.
All right, listen. Yes, I've come, and I'm gonna build back up to it again. So I'll last longer next time.
Oh, great champion, I beseech you. I have a task for the keeper of this island.
I didn't want to go in with a loaded gun.
As she says that, Klaus, you feel your axe start to twitch and burn a little.
Oh shit. All right, so like wear a condom.
Follow me back, great champion. Follow me back. Our village has much need of your help.
All right. Well, I guess this is where the flowers are, guys. What's she look like?
Mundane. She's wearing a headscarf, so you can't really get much in the way of hair. Sort of working clothing. From a look, you'd say she's probably a farmer or a hand of some sort. And...
All right, she'll do. All right. I've had a few.
Despite the fact that it is still very early in the morning, yeah, you have had a few. That is true.
Noble champion.
Noble champion. So, are you guys going to go with Klaus?
Ah, hell yeah.
Sure, might as well.
That's going to make it weird.
Klaus, you going to do anything I should be aware of during the walk to this girl's village?
Well, I've already come. No, I'm not going to do anything yet. I got to let it build back up.
Have you pissed since you went to since you drank all that ale?
No, there hasn't been a reason to.
Well, you've been walking for like an hour or so, and you drank a bunch of ale. I promise you, there is a reason.
Am I looking for secret doors and shit? No.
Not at the moment.
All right.
Secret piss activated doors.
Listen, I know your dungeon master tricks. Yeah, you're trying to get me to deplete my supply.
I'm trying to figure out if you have to start rolling fortitude checks. Because I gotta tell you, buddy, it's a muscle like any other, and it can give out.
He knows that because he knows about his sphincter.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I was about to say
when the time
Klaus
comes,
himself, and then I remembered, when didn't Klaus shit himself?
Yeah.
So.
Okay,
all right.
you guys
So
are gonna follow.
Klaus.
I'm just making sure nobody's doing or saying anything I need to be aware of.
Is her name Laverne?
You have not asked her for her name.
I'm just gonna call her Laverne.
Good as anything I was gonna come up with.
She's no Shirley.
Oh.
Hello, Laverne.
Okay.
I can't wait till we get out of here, so Happy Days will be here again.
As you arrive, you see that village might have been a strong word for her to use. It's sort of just like 5 farms all like butting together, with like a little bit of shitty buildings to, hang out and drink in. There's no one in them now, of course, as a farming village, so people are actually working, unlike you fucks. And so yeah, you get there, and she turns around, and she looks a lot less desperate now. Actually, she actually looks a bit haughty as she says, "Okay, champion of the island. First things up, I need you to chop a shitload of firewood."
Is it evil firewood? What the hell?
Yeah, it's evil firewood. And the axe is like still twitching and burning with excitement in your hand.
All right, do I feel like the axe wants me to chop firewood?
Oh, the axe super wants to chop some firewood.
Oh, all right, well, that's fine. I'll chop some firewood. I want to bond with my axe a little bit. All right, yeah, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'm going to sit over here and watch Klaus chop some firewood.
Okay. Klaus starts fucking chopping the shit out of firewood. He goes for an hour. I mean, how long do you want to go, Klaus?
I don't know. Well, after an hour, how's the axe feeling?
The axe is like super fucking stoked. Klaus, roll me an intelligence check.
Oh shit! All right.
Oh, no.
Klaus rolls a 14.
Okay, a 14 is pretty good. That's high enough to remember that this Klaus is a little, or this axe is a little eager to please. It was like super fucking jammed that someone took it. It really doesn't let go of its owners, and it very much likes being needed.
Oh.
Sort of, like she said she needed help.
So, all right.
Wow, it's like
going on here.
It's axe +3 against clingy ex-girlfriends.
Axe, I feel like we're being used.
The axe does not care.
Yeah, guys, I feel like someone is using the Klaus that we were supposed to be using.
Hey, champion of the island. Hey, champion dude.
I would like, you know what, Axe, we need you to help us find some magic flowers. And I'm going to try and Inigo Montoya that thing again.
Roll me a willpower check.
Ooh.
Because you are now, the axe has a task, and you are now trying to take it off task.
I'm trying to give it a different task.
Yes, that's taking it off of its current task.
All right, Klaus rolls a 17.
With a 17, you're like, come on, there's more than this. There's more! And the axe, like, reluctantly moves away from the wood pile.
Or does it move somewhere else, like a direction I want to go in? Or?
No, you're carrying it, bro.
You were just pulling it away. You still remember the direction it pointed.
All right. Is Laverne still looking at me?
Laverne is still kind of hanging out, but she hasn't noticed that you've stopped chopping wood quite yet.
All right, let's just bail.
I'll do a detect evil as we walk through the village. If there's anything that registers, I'll annihilate it.
As you're walking out, you hear, "Oh, great champion, we require your aid." And Klaus, your axe begins to burn intensely again.
I don't want your aids.
Listen, buddy, tough shit. It's not often someone's dumb enough to pick that thing up, and we've got a lot of work around here that needs doing.
Who's saying this?
Laverne.
Laverne?
Yeah.
I punch Laverne in the face.
Oh, whoa, shit.
But we got places to be.
All right, initiative time. Laverne's evil.
Okay, Laverne continues to try to take advantage of Klaus's situation, and Brandon responds by fist blasting her in the fucking jaw.
All right, let's do this.
Laverne drops, as a normal person would from a super monk punch, and the rest of you can continue on your way. The rest of the island, the rest of the villagers are kind of like, "Oh shit, back off."
Good job, junior adventurer. I didn't trust her to begin with.
I'm sure that won't have consequences down the road.
For the first time, Klaus is uncomfortable with something ethically.
To be fair, she was trying to exploit your situation.
Yeah, she was exploiting us. We're busy. I've got stuff I want to do. Why are you annoyed about this? You killed that old man.
But I don't really remember the circumstances around that.
Well, that's even more disturbing. You say.
You also all failed to kill that door. I just like to rub that in every now and then.
Oh, rub it all you like, dude. I wasn't here that episode.
Yeah. Well, in fairness, I forgot.
In fairness, we're also stupid.
I was just gonna piss on her wood pile out of spite, but now I'm not. I'm gonna hold that a little bit longer.
I think it was a good call. She was guilty of the sin of being needy and whiny.
Yeah.
Arrow? What? Wait. You're not usually one to talk about sin.
Arrow of the gods? Maybe put two and two together there?
It's
There's no need
nice
to be
that you worship so many gods equally.
Oh, shit! Will the cover withstand this test?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure I would say equally. I try to give them all a fair shake, although some, like, Toreg, for example, they come out a little bit higher in the equation, because they're ever so slightly much, much better than the others, but I try to, be equal, almost not really opportunity.
Well, I've always admired the fact that you're an arrow of the gods, plural, and that you're an arrow for all the gods, and not just, for example, a god, like fanatically and obsessively, like other people we know. That's something I like about you, Arrow of the Gods.
Like a particularly shitty god like Torag.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've never met Torag, but everything I've heard, he seems like kind of a dick.
Come, let us go.
There
is great evil that you must face and lose to, friend Klaus.
All right, so Klaus has the feeling back in his axe. Brandon has just jaw-jacked a farmer, and the rest of you are accomplices, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean accomplices? This
accomplices for justice.
Maybe accessories after the fact. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I'm sure the person who reaches out to you will be. But for now, you are going up. You are kind of going back north once more. And as you're going, you keep going north. You're starting to kind of go up, and you're going up one of the mountainy areas. And you reach a signpost. It's pointing left and right. And the one that's pointing left says certain death. And the one that's pointing right says swift death.
Do we want swift or certain?
Yes.
Well, swift doesn't necessarily mean certain.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but at the same time, I don't really like wishy-washy threats. The whole certain thing that speaks of confidence.
Yeah, but it can also be like slow and painful.
Yeah, I mean, if we go for certain, then we're certainly going to die.
Swift, I mean, if we die, awesome, it's swift. If not, awesome, we didn't die. This is a no-brainer. But I'd like to consult with the axe. Maybe we just want to chop the sign down? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this sign's got a lot of attitude. Yeah,
and wood.
Yeah.
What are you trying to discern from the axe?
Which way the flowers are.
You still get kind of a forward pull. You have already tried to commune with it on this subject today, so you've burned your try. You can look for something else, but
we keep going beyond the sign.
Well, the sign is at a fork. Basically, you're going to keep going north. The paths are going to turn eventually.
Well, we don't have to go on the path then.
No, you can try to start climbing up the sheer wall of the mountain. You can absolutely do that. We've seen how it went, but by God, I will always try and find an excuse to bust out my white lightning squids. I don't think they're indigenous to this island, but they fucking will be.
Every sheer cliff face is full of fucking squids.
No, that's fair. If you want to start climbing straight up, you absolutely can.
I don't know, guys. What do you think?
Add a new sign pointing forward. Stupid death.
I vote for Swift. Arrow of the Gods
I
votes
vote
for
for
something
Swift.
stupid. Brandon?
Yeah, Swift sounds fine. Sorry, I stopped paying attention. This conversation is boring.
All right. Swift it is.
Very well, then.
Unless Arrow of the Gods can go for certain if he wants.
Arrow of the Gods?
Oh, I'll follow them. They'll obviously need the help of a true hero.
If only y'all had one.
Yeah.
Your best candidate is off picking flowers, and your second best candidate just punched a woman.
Yeah,
I'd just like to
cold,
specify where Brandon comes from. You know, women and men are on very equal footing when it comes to combat skills. The Temple of the Many Fists, you can totally punch a woman. It's fine.
No, that's fair. It's assault, but it's fair.
No, it's still assault.
Yeah.
But, you know, we'll get to that when I have my own defense for that.
She was one harassing us, and two, obviously out of her mind since she ignored Brandon in favor of Klaus.
Exactly. So the Arrow of the Gods is basically my defense should this come up.
Oh, I really hope the Arrow of the Gods serves as your defense counsel if this comes out.
We seem to be on the same page.
She opened her mouth, didn't she?
If she didn't like being punched in the face, maybe she should have shut up.
Oh, I'm not putting that one up on the live blog.
Yeah, that's not great in context. It's going to be worse out of it. Oh, all right. You all start heading towards Swift, seemingly deserved death.
Not everybody punched a woman for standing there.
Some of us watched.
Some of you watched. And you're all gonna start going down the slope.
Yep.
You're heading to the right. It's curving like kind of deeper and deeper. You're winding like around the mountain to the north, but like sort of you're kind of like going to the side of the mountain. And you keep walking. It's Lord of the Rings-ish. There's so much walking. Feels like honestly this island is bigger when you're walking it than it looks like it is. It's very distorted.
Bigger on the inside?
You're not on the inside, you son of a bitch. It's very distorted. There's just a lot of weird magic shit going on here, and if the Whispering Trees hadn't given that away already. So you keep winding your way down. You come to the entrance of a cave. You come to the entrance of a cave. The path has ended.
Let's go get our flowers.
Hey, not to put logic into our adventure or anything, but since we bring a rogue along, you want to check for traps?
Oh yeah, he's got a purpose, hasn't he? I keep forgetting that.
Well, I mean, he's got a couple, but since pissing off Silas doesn't help us in this instance, let's try the other one.
Pissing on something?
I don't know how you check for traps. I'm a bard. Maybe pissing on something is how you
check for traps with my urine. I really gotta go now. I'm feeling it.
You really are. I'm trying to figure out what to make you roll for that. Okay. I guess just perception is how you check for traps normally. But
good job, Pathfinder guys. You couldn't have put a skill for pissing.
Okay, give me a perception check and a dexterity check. Let's see how well you control that stream.
Alright, perception first. Here it comes. Alright, Klaus rolls a 16. And dexterity.
Be glad you're not a half-orc or I'd make you roll a strength check.
Klaus rolls a 25.
Wow, you are, and it hurts me to say this, it does. You are artful with that piss. You are
laser precision.
You are a piss wrangler.
Guys, with his axe in one hand and his dick in the other, Klaus plunges into the mouth of the cave, dancing, spinning, flipping, his piss sprinkling through the air like a fine mist, covering nearly every surface with precision you would have never believed possible. And just everywhere, but so well executed. He finishes. The last few drips fall into the ground, and you feel yourself compelled to give a slow, gentle clap.
Well, damn, that was a piss of art.
And behind Klaus, rising up, dripping with piss, you see the silhouettes of large, I'm going to be honest here, a little bit angry looking creatures. And that feels like where we should leave off for this game. Klaus, dick in hand, with piss-covered creatures rising behind him.
I'm glad I held it for as long as I did.
I want to be honest with you, Bevan, it was worth it. It was. That was great. But
So
we are
next
not done.
thing-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Rick.
I was going to say, next week we're going to have to do Attack of the Piss-Soaked Monsters.
Yes, you
Well,
are.
it's bound to happen eventually.
Brandon, I'm very sorry that you fight barehanded.
I've got my broom.
Ever wondered what the next Caverns and Creatures short story will be called? Now you have some hint.
Piss-covered monsters.
Piss
This is
covered.
exactly why I bought that broom.
You might want to swap it out for a mop.
Wait, this is why you bought that broom? It's great foresight. Yeah, that's it. I guess it's just great foresight. You definitely could have seen this coming. Or peeing. All right, on that terrible joke, we don't stop when the game stops. We keep on going, taking questions from you that we normally get from Facebook.com/AuthorsAndDragons. But we totally forgot to do that this game.
Because our characters were really fucked up last game, so...
We're playing on a Tuesday. Shit's all out of whack. Joe usually handles that part too. And look, we do our best.
There was book cocky as well.
There was book cocky today.
That was the book cocky.
Yeah.
If you don't know what that is, shame on you for not following us on Facebook.com/AuthorsAndDragons, where you can get these kind of insightful updates with deals and specials, and god damn it.
Oh yeah,
so much whoring.
Speaking of being ashamed of yourself, if you've not heard of that, you've probably not heard of our Patreon either. So shame on you for not checking out our Patreon, where you can donate a monthly stipend to help us create more original content. Go check out that Patreon so you can stop being ashamed of yourself like you most definitely should be.
Indeed. I do want to say we're not going to skip the questions part today. We are going to do it. We're just going to field some questions from each other. So don't turn off the goddamn episode yet.
So our first question is, Steve, what's the web address for that Patreon?
Well, the web address for that Patreon, this is a very good question.
Patreon.com/AuthorsAndDragons.
God damn it, I wanted to make Steve look it up.
Jesus Christ, spoilers, Drew.
No, it turns out that's right. It's definitely that address.
And in fact, if you follow that address, you can find our first episode of The Mimic Chest already loaded, a special monthly podcast where we steal the formats of better shows and fuck them up in our own special way.
Should we say what that first episode is?
Sure.
But no, it could be a surprise.
Well, shit, I don't remember what it was.
It might be something good. It
You
might
weren't there
be
for that one, John.
Oh, that's why I don't remember it.
Well, that's the whole point of the Mimic Chest. Is it's something different each time.
I was almost there for that one. That's where my son sprained his elbow, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh right.
Yeah.
So we can tell the listeners we're all queued up to do, and as Bevan said, we'll go ahead and tell you what's there waiting for you. Our version of Riff Tracks, in which we watched the 2000 D&D movie, and it is Jeremy Irons-tastic. And we're all loaded up. We've got our beers, we've got our buzzes, and then a few minutes before, Bevan comes on. Bevan, do you want to take it from there?
Yeah, my son was playing out in the front yard and like tripped in a hole or something and hyperextended his elbow and I had to take him to the hospital. And so I wasn't part of this mimic chest episode.
It was funny at the time when he said it.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't funny at the time.
No,
Yeah.
I was pissed off, but I had nobody to be pissed off at. It was annoying.
Fuck you, Mother Nature, putting holes in the ground.
How dare you hurt yourself at a time when I'm about to record something?
I'm about to drink and watch a terrible movie.
Yeah.
All right, Bevan, do you want to give us one of our first questions?
No.
I thought you had some from Ask a Half-Orc you wanted to use.
Oh, shit. Well, no, I didn't know we were doing that. Let me, I gotta dig that up.
Okay, hey, how about
somebody else has a question?
I've got a question for all of you. We talked about Joe's Skyfair. Does anyone else have anything coming out this week?
Yeah, I pumped mine in my intro.
Oh,
I released the most recent Bubba the Monster Hunter novella today, and it features Bubba doing a dance-off, which I acted out live at DragonCon during my reading. And if you follow me on Facebook or go to YouTube and search for John Hartness, you can see the video of me reading Bubba's dance-off and me doing the Macarena.
Yeah,
exactly.
I released Pixie Dicks late last night. That's me.
No context.
That doesn't sound like a book. It just sounds like you let go of a pixie's cock.
Yeah. I let go of Pixie Dicks last night. Is Bevan on cocaine? Is that him saying he's like kicking the habit?
And then I finished, so I let go of the Pixie Dicks. And
Oh, I have an actual question for you guys that I really did want to ask. Is anybody doing anything special for Halloween? Like any sort of events or stuff?
I tried to go out for my birthday on Halloween, so I like to just wear a costume, get really drunk.
Is that your birthday?
No, it's my birthday's like November 3rd, but usually like the nearest weekend is Halloween, so...
I think it would be best if you say, yeah, my birthday's in April, but fuck it, I like Halloween.
That's what I was expecting.
Yeah, I do like Halloween. I do get drunk on Halloween. It's not my birthday.
I have a convention the weekend before and a convention the weekend after. So I'll be in Charleston, West Virginia on the Friday and Saturday before Halloween at the West Virginia Book Festival. And then I'll be in Roanoke on the Saturday following at the Roanoke Valley Comic Con. I will not be giving away candy, and I will not be dressed up as anything other than a fat mid-list author. But I'll sell you some books.
Depending on how his day goes, he might cosplay as Gunner.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm doing my choose your own adventure thing on the site I always do, and I'm working on some other stuff that's still kind of in development. Rick literally just heard about one thing, but I'm trying to put together a little bit more this year. I really love Halloween and I love doing my choose your own adventure, but I kind of want to do more.
Well, aside from that one thing on Drew's thing that might or might not be happening, I'm mostly just this Halloween, taking my kids to the various area haunted houses and shit. So if you see me standing online, I probably won't have any books to sell you. And it's quite possible that you might go up to some random bald person and be like, "Hey, are you Rick Gualtieri?" and then get punched in the face.
No, I'm Robert Bevan.
I'm not gonna punch you in the face.
Yeah. Rick will scream sinner at you as you run away, though. He will meet that obligation.
Well, I might if they ask, "Are you Robert Bevan?"
Do people get you two mixed up?
Oh, well, yeah.
You don't really look alike.
That's happened, right? We're bald.
Yeah,
That's
you're
enough.
both bald.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all.
Well, considering people who listen
That's
to
our
us,
defining feature.
I would have thought that the fact that every time I've ever seen either of you out in public, you're wearing a T-shirt advertising your series.
Yeah,
That might be a fucking clue.
people would glom onto that.
Well,
All right.
next con we're going to do a mind fuck on you, John. We're going to wear each other's series.
I would
see if
love to
Frank
see you like
recognizes-
take over each other's booths for a little bit and just see if people notice.
Well, it's only going to work if you wear Bob's hat. I mean, if you wear Bevan's hat, then
I'll
yeah.
wash it.
Yeah. I think you also have to have the cooler.
Look, the cooler's
It
there. Anyway.
usually sits between us.
That's true. That's true. I respect that cooler. That's a boss move. I got to get
Yeah.
con. Speaking of, Bevan, have you found any half-work questions for us?
Yeah. Here's one. One of my fellow English teachers is having trouble with their students sleeping in class. What advice would you give her to keep them awake so they can learn?
I don't know what I was expecting, but that was not
This is
it.
well. These are general questions for my Ask a Half Work segment on my Patreon page.
Oh, no, it's
You know,
fine. I'm just,
Yeah.
That was just not what I was braced for.
I actually used to be an adjunct professor, and if somebody were to sleep in my class, fuck it, I'd let them and just fail them after and just fail them.
I think
Yeah.
electroshock is an acceptable response. Mild, 12 volts. So I would say bring a car battery to class and some jumper cables. And if the kid falls asleep, you hook the jumper cables to the battery and then put it on their nipples.
Well, yeah, that's ridiculous. But
Yes.
I'm wondering if this person that wrote this is someone that might have known me in Korea and when I was an English teacher. I taught at I hesitate to call it a university. It was more like it was like, the community college from Community. It was like lower than that. And anyway, when kids and I was appropriate for that college because I was a lousy teacher, but when kids fell asleep in my class, which they inevitably did, I had a little spray bottle, something you spritz plants with, and I just go and spray water in their face. And
Well, like a cat.
Yeah.
Oh, please tell me it was full of piss.
No, it wasn't. I was, concerned about keeping my job.
Yeah, but I guarantee they would have never fallen asleep again.
I had a
Yeah,
teacher who
there you
used
go.
to, knock thick textbooks off her desk onto the floor when she thought people weren't paying attention. And just that loud boom! That would wake up most of the class pretty fast.
I
would
did
just-
know a teacher who would bring a big-ass book and slam it down on the desk beside the kid's head.
God damn, that's a little more targeted.
I would just
South
run with it
Carolina.
and just see if you can get them all asleep and then just walk out. And just, you can go grab a coffee or something. Just have some time to yourself. They catch up on their sleep.
I mean, like I said, they weren't paying me to by the number of people who passed. So fuck it. Less effort for me to let you sleep.
Yeah, you were
I mean,
definitely
we're
a
adjuncts.
professor.
You were adjunct. They weren't paying you at all. I mean, nobody makes money doing adjunct work, right?
Are you kidding? It was ridiculously good money.
All of my friends who are adjunct professors. Email rick@rickqualtieri.com because there's a job opening.
Well, yeah, I mean, 'cause it was easy work, pretty much, especially if you taught a class more than once. Because if you taught a class more than once, pretty much you just reused your notes the time before. So,
Oh god,
And then-
I had a routine set from 7 years of doing this. I had my shtick down. That was the best part of the job. I didn't have to prepare shit.
I
got
kind of want to
shit,
do
it's
an
got a
episode
spray
where we
bottle.
make Bevan try to teach us English. Bevan's rules for grammar.
Spray bottle.
I wrote our textbook. It was a piece of shit, but they published it. Yeah,
Wait,
We
you
got-
wrote a
I used that
textbook?
for
You wrote a published
7 or 8 years.
textbook?
The half
It will
is
published
shit.
by a small press in Korea.
No, we need
But,
a copy of this.
The half orc shits.
Might
Half
have
orc
one.
is
It's no. But yeah, there was a little bit of Bevan you'd recognize in there. I slipped some stuff in that the Korean publisher it got by
It's just
them.
occasionally a picture.
All right, Bevan
I had
fans.
some fun with it.
Now everyone who said you've read everything he wrote, bullshit. You want to
Yeah,
learn that
that's-
title, you're going to have to buy yourself a goddamn Korean textbook. And if you bring it to a convention and have Bevan sign it, we will give you a beer. We will give you a goddamn beer.
I bet that'll be worth something someday if you can dig that shit up.
Yeah, it'll be worth a beer.
Oh, good times.
What's the next one you've got, Bevan?
Why is it okay for my dog to lick his butt, but when I do it, he wants to bite me?
Let's clarify first. Does the dog get annoyed when he licks his own butt, or does the dog get annoyed when he licks the dog's butt?
Yeah,
has
this
to
is
be the
why I
dog
didn't
one.
use this one, because when I do it, we don't know whose butt he's talking about here.
It has to be
Is he licking his own butt?
Because you
Yeah,
can't
because you
lick...
got to be
there's
really
no-
goddamn flexible.
Yeah, that would be impossible.
I knew
I
a
mean-
guy in college who used to claim he could blow himself, but
Yeah, you need to take out a couple more
Yeah.
vertebrae or ribs or whatever. Yeah.
Also, I'm not sure the dog would give a shit if the dude was licking his own asshole, because dogs don't care that much.
Maybe it's just a really uptight dog.
that would
Fucking
make for a
hypocrite.
more entertaining question,
I
though.
would.
I'm trying to lick my own asshole, and my dog keeps biting me. Brandon Thighmaster just punched me.
You know something? I want to see somebody go to the dog whisper or something with that one. It's like every time I try to lick my own asshole, he's there.
The dog whisper just out.
and we understand that none of us have answered the question, nor will we.
Nope. All right, Bevan, give us one more. Give us one more to go out on.
I like how those two questions just went to two ends of the extreme. It was great.
Oh man, I could use this one in a later segment, but
You can save it, man.
I'll just blow it here.
Okay.
All right. Sarah Hollinsworth asks, any tips on potty training my son?
Well, is he out of college yet?
Don't lick your own asshole in front of him. He'll bite you.
My son's
Don't let
pooping in
your
the
dog
toilet,
lick
but
your
he keeps
son's
licking his own
asshole.
asshole after.
And if he falls asleep in class, shoot him with a spray bottle of piss.
Or slam a textbook down next to his head while he's peeing himself, slam a textbook down on his nipples.
Well, that's just
That'll
child
teach him to
abuse.
stop.
That's just hitting a child with a book.
We did not specify. She didn't specify that this was an actual child. Like
Right.
the first response was, "Is he in college?"
Yeah.
John,
This is
yeah.
just general abuse.
Yeah, and it's assault at that point, which is fine.
My son keeps licking his own asshole, and the dog is furious.
You know, my son keeps licking his own asshole, but you know what really pisses me off? Him missing the ball.
I've made peace with the asshole thing.
But if he's gonna try and
I'm
toss
proud
his
of
own
him.
salad, he needs to
Nobody's
find
that
a ball.
flexible.
I'll be honest, this is going to pay for college, and we all know it.
Dog's just sitting there looking at your son licking his own asshole, thinking, well, why the fuck am I here then?
Well, yeah, and the son's pissing on the floor, so it's like even double duty with the dog. He's like, screw it, I'm just running away.
Yeah, if your kid's pissing in your shoe, then he's taking the cat's place too.
No wonder the dog's angry.
Yeah.
Ah. Sarah Hollinsworth, what the hell is wrong with your son?
And your dog.
What kind of mother are you?
The guy who wrote to you for advice. Oh, I think on that note we will end things for this.
Oh, no, wait. I got one more thing I wanted
Go
to say.
go for it.
Okay, good.
Just on live, I just wanted to say congratulations to Zach Brooks for winning the Flex-Off competition. The name Zach Brooks will now appear in the Totally Legend of Brandon Firemaster ebook, which again should be out by the time this podcast airs.
We should
Nice.
we should hold this podcast like ransom. It's like, hey, it's on Drew's site. Did you buy the book? Well, no. Okay, fuck you.
Awesome.
We will try to be a little more focused next episode. Try is a very operative word.
We did a fine
we
job.
won't try very
Yeah,
hard.
we almost recast Perfect Strangers. God damn it.
What more do we need?
Yeah. All right. Until next time, we'll see ya. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Authors and Dragons is brought to you under a Creative Commons license, meaning you are free to share this material so long as credit is given to the original creators, which is us, the people who are playing it. The opening music, Take a Chance, and closing theme, Master of the Feast, are both credited to Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com and also used under a Creative Commons license.